video, I thought it'd be fun to show kind of a little bit of a comparison between the 420 and the 430, and also just update you on the 430, because last time I shown a video about these tractors, the 430 was just barely running. But anyway, it's greened up a little bit. It's kind of nicer doing a video when it's green instead of all brown or brown and white. But also I thought it'd be fun just to show the 420 with it a little bit, kind of show some of the differences. So this is the 420 and that's the 430. Kind of neat with these two tractors because they're both utility tractors. And I know I get a lot of hate because of the loader. Yeah, it's kind of ugly and whatever, but I've already got the 420. I don't need two of them really. And the loader is kind of cool and useful, and you can always use a little loader tractor. So maybe someday I'll decide to take it off, but right now that's how it lived its life, and I think I'll kind of keep it. So overall, these tractors are pretty similar, especially where they're both utility models. They're both, the shorter, squattier tractor. I've got the 435. The 435 has the 430W frame, so it's not the utility frame, so it sits up a little bit higher. But the 420, they had kind of three main revisions. There was the first one that had just the all green, and then the second one that had the green and the yellow, which this one was actually green and yellow. It's just the yellow's faded. And then the third version had the slanted dash, or the slanted steering wheel, excuse me. So you see this one, the steering wheel's straight up. And if you look at the 430, you can see it's slanted. And the backs of this tractor are pretty much the exact same. And this 420 does sit up just a little bit higher because it does have the big fat tires. That's how it came, oversized fronts and backs, but kind of cool. And now we go to the 430, you can see the rear end is virtually identical. On the 420, I do have to keep this bar on the 3-point, because otherwise the lift arms will bump up against the tires. So here's the dash section. The steering, or the shifting quadrant's pretty much the same. The dash is a little bit different though. And this one also has the under exhaust. It's kind of cool. Makes it sound a little different. So if we go to this one, the 430, see the gear shifting quadrant's about the same. One of the differences, this has the numbers imprinted on the handle, whereas on the 420 it's only on a decal on the dash. And then this one does have a different dash. The oil pressure gauge is actually electric on this. I can show you that. And then it has the amperage and water temperature. This tractor does have power steering. I made sure the oil's topped off, but it kind of works. Probably will need to be rebuilt sometime in the future. Like I say, this loader is not the greatest thing in the world, but it does work. And you have one lever that it's not going to go down by its, doesn't have enough pressure, but this one will set the whole loader down. This one is the bucket up and down. And then it's kind of interesting how it's plumbed in. It actually has the one line, the return line, you can't really see, but it goes right into the top of the oil reservoir underneath the seat. So they kind of just plumbed it directly into the tractor, which is an interesting way of doing it. But so overall, you can just see they're basically the same tractor. At the end of the video, I'll post some being driven a little bit so you can kind of hear the different sound. One thing I wanted to notice too is that there is a little bit of an engine redesign. So on this one, you'll notice the oil cap isn't on the top, where on that one the oil filler caps goes right into the cover, the valve cover. But on this one, what they did is they put the dipstick in this filler hole right here, right, that goes right into the the crank, your block. So you just fill it directly. So this is the same side on the 420. Again, so you have to put the oil here, goes over through the tappet cover, and basically it just seeps down through the head and then into your oil pan. Okay, so this is the same side. Now the dipstick on this one is on this side, and it's just a little bayonet dipstick right here by the carburetor. So you see I have a carburetor and then the little dipstick. And I'll go back to the 430 on the left side. See the differences. Okay, so now we're back to the 430. You'll notice carburetor, but look what was here is no longer there. They capped it off, and instead they moved it to the other side. So there's the right side again. You can see it's a little different. So there are some design differences, but I'm guessing that and YouTube's great at correcting me if I'm wrong. I think the later 420 had that change as well. So I don't know that it's necessarily unique to the 430, but anyway, I'll fire them both up and go put them away. But as you can see, it's a beautiful day here in Star Valley, except for some airplane. Otherwise you just hear the birds, but see the mountains always look nice on these beautiful spring days. So here I am on the 420. Turn on the ignition. Probably don't need to choke it, it should be nice and warm. And she fires right up. One thing about these little tractors, they don't make them super easy to get on and off of, but it's still easier than getting on a farm wall. Same thing, turn on the ignition. And she fires right up.